Justin's production tape wasn't worth entertaining not only that fifth-year option, but potentially having to extend him down the road. The play wasn't good enough to pay him as the top 10 quarterback and put that constraint on your salary cap. And on the flip side of this, not only are they about to draft a rookie quarterback and get him on a rookie deal for the next several years, they have done an outstanding job of building the base around this quarterback who's about to walk in here. They have really done a good job building the skill and the offensive line in the last 2 years, where I feel comfortable that we all know it's probably going to be Caleb. If it for some reason isn't Caleb and it's one of the other 3 or 4 guys, that quarterback's going to be in a good position. I don't think people around the league realize, especially if they draft another skill position with that 9th pick, how much talent they have on that offense next year. You know, obviously the addition of Keenan Allen last week, and they already have a true one in DJ Moore. This quarterback is coming in with talent around him, which gives him the best chance to succeed. And like you said, he's going to be on a rookie deal, so he's not going to hamstring them from continuing to add talent on not only the offensive side of the ball, but the defensive side of the ball as well.
Yeah, listen, I've said if I'm Justin Fields, I'm looking at what the Bears have done this offseason with anger. You know, they had Keenan Allen and Gerald Everett, and Swift, and I'm thinking, well, why couldn't they do that when I was there? I've said it before, Josh. It's kind of like when Vic Fangio was in Denver with all the quarterbacks, and then he leaves and they trade for Russell Wilson. I know they didn't get the results, but I'm thinking, why not when I'm there? Now, that said, I want to talk about how difficult it is to evaluate the position, because as you said, I think we'd all be shocked if it's not Caleb Williams. But 4 years ago, the investment was made into Justin Fields. You evaluated what we've seen in his play on the football field and, you know, what is missing from his game at this level. What did you get wrong when you evaluated him in college, and what surprised you about his inability to do some of the things you thought he could do?
You know, my report is right in front of me right now. We were concerned with the methodical ball handling, the methodical processing in the pocket. He was playing around tremendous talent at Ohio State, not only on the perimeter, but the protection as well. So he got away with being able to play at a slower pace than an NFL quarterback's going to have to play in the pocket. Our biggest concern was this a time on task issue, or was this an instincts issue? And to me, it's becoming more of an instinct issue. These top 5 quarterbacks in the league, top 10 quarterbacks in the league, not only are they tremendous physical talents, not only can they process, but they're extremely instinctive football players. And honestly, if you ask me, that's the biggest thing that's missing. And that usually doesn't change that much. So I think for Justin to be successful, he's going to have a lot of talent around him, which he really never. At the end of last year, they were pretty good, like you just said. Now they've gotten to a point where they're even better. Obviously, when we had him as a rookie in 21, we just weren't good enough around him, period. And he's going to need a lot of talent around him, and it's always going to have to be built through the run game with Justin. There's always going to have to be 10 to 15 quarterback run design plays. If you think you're going to put him in the pocket and throw it 30 to 40 times a game and be successful, you're setting yourself up for failure. It's going to have to always be through his legs, because I just don't think he's got the ability to play from the pocket like the top guys in our league do.
You know, you have the report in front of you. You expressed the concerns you had of him coming out of college, and it makes me wonder, when you have to make the investment, and Bill Polian says it all the time, when you're a quarterback that has a need, you convince yourself that you can make things work. You fall in love with a guy despite his shortcomings. I mean, when you went through the process back then with these concerns, how nervous were you when he came into the building?
Yeah, so you got to look at the circumstances. So after the 20 season, we backed our way, into the playoffs with a 500 record. The building knew that Mitch was not going to be the long-term answer, and the president and owner of the Chicago Bears did not extend the head coach and the GM. And we were in a draft where people forget we weren't picking in the top 10. I believe we had the 19th pick or the 20th pick in the draft because we had just made the playoffs, and we had to take a quarterback. We signed Andy Dalton prior to the draft as a bridge to help whoever we were going to try to get in the upcoming draft. We felt with that mix of quarterbacks, and I still feel this way, because they all had major concerns. Trevor was the cleanest, and then when you drop down from Trevor, to me, they all had concerns. We felt Justin was the second best quarterback from the personnel side. We felt he was the second best quarterback in that draft, and honestly, I still feel he's the second best quarterback in the draft. Over Zach and Trey Lance and Mac Jones, and so we felt, even though we had these major concerns, to be able to get who we thought was the second best quarterback in the draft at pick 11 to us, knowing we had to take a quarterback, we were worth taking on those risks.